you know, you were having trouble with the mansion where that old man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, but he was cool, though. Once I told him the story.
You know what we're talking about?
I have no idea.
Well, you know.
Think of a mansion with an old man and a whole bunch of beautiful young girls.
The Munsters? Oh, yeah. Hefner.
Yeah.
That's going for the joke.
He was masturbating to Aurora Monster models growing up. I like the Vampirella, too. Vampirella had me.
Vampirella's hot.
She had me.
Yeah, so don't blow this story.
Got it.
Yeah. And no. I was invited during the making of Man on the Moon to the Playboy Mansion. Hef invited me up there for the Midsummer Night Dream party. And I wasn't.
I like how all this part is so innocent. It's just people fucking each other.
Totally, exactly. Yeah, that's right.
As you like it.
So was you.
Right.
Cut to star 80.
You, Pauly Shore.
Yeah,
and John
and I wasn't on the planet at the time. I was being Andy Kaufman and Tony Clifton. So they said, well, Jim isn't here right now. Can Tony come up? Can he come up as Tony and play? And so Hef was like, great. And we just, you know, they just said, just don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody it's Jim Carrey. Well, about an hour later, we heard like, you know,
of course, he has no idea
reports out there that Jim Carrey was going to
is.
come to the mansion and stuff. So Andy got pissed and sent Tony. But the real Tony, like Tony Clifton, who was the second Tony Clifton, is Bob Zmuda, who's Andy's writer. And he got into the old stuff again, and he showed up at the mansion, and Hef came out and did like
So if I can just
15 minutes with him.
Just in case we've lost anybody, you understand that he was invited, Andy Kaufman, Jim Carrey as Andy Kaufman was invited to go to the Playboy Mansion. Bob Zmuda ends up going to the Playboy Mansion pretending to be
Tony Clifton.
Jim Carrey.
No, pretending to be Jim Carrey as Tony Clifton.
So everyone's just fawning all over him, and Playboy girls are posing with him, and Hef's there like, hey, they're all twins, and they have no brain. And
I remember you telling me he'd introduce you and go, hey, James Caan, this is Tony Clifton. It's Jim Carrey.
Yeah. I remember Andy Dick got insanely jealous because he was like, how could he be a foot shorter? How can he be a foot shorter than he normally is? Nobody can act like that. And so I stayed down at In-N-Out Burger, and I was eating burgers and fries and stuff like that, and milkshakes, and keeping in contact with him. And I showed up 2 hours later in my pajamas and walked in the door, and Hef was standing there with Jim Carrey / Tony Clifton, he thought, and turned and looked at me, and his face just went ashen, and he completely freaked out, and there was instant chaos, and Tony was jacked up against a tree with like this, and he pulled out the lavalier and said, like, he's wearing a wire! Like that. And next thing you know...
It's funny to hear the story with Zmuda and Jim saying both their parts, because Zmuda's out in the alley getting their shit kicked out.
Yeah, right. I was saying, you know, hey, don't rough them up too much. You know, I mean, this happens to me all the time. And then all night long, literally for hours, you know, Hef was like coming around and saying like, geez, I don't know how that happened. The security at this place is like the fucking White House. I mean, I just don't know. And I said, Jesus Christ, I don't know. I mean, they must be, you know, incredible pranksters, these guys. I mean, they got through my defenses completely.
Well, my favorite part of that whole book was the Mr. X stuff. The Norman Wexler stuff was always my
Wexler's
favorite.
Amazing.
I can only imagine what that must have been like.
Are incredible.
Did you hear any like cool stories from Bob?
I did. I can't remember them well enough. Right. But you know, Bob told me a lot about Wexler, who was the writer of Saturday Night Fever and Serpico and movies like that, and he just was the fucking most insane guerrilla theater asshole that ever walked the earth.
And that was
he just used his money. It's like The Magic Christian, that movie with Ringo Starr and Peter Sellers. You know, he just goes around to mess with people's heads. You know, and Zmuda and Andy were like that.
You ever think of doing that?
Zmuda and Andy used to go to movie theaters in New York, and they'd go to slasher films, and they'd sit in the balcony. And during the moment where the slasher was coming after the pretty girl and she would trip, there'd be that moment of like, oh, a stoppage in the crowd. And during that silence, they would yell out, cut her titties off. Like that. And people would just go, what the fuck? Who are we watching a movie with? Cut her titties off. God, I wish you could see these faces. I wish this wasn't a podcast.
You sound like Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Yeah, show them the audience.
Donald Trump.
Yeah,
I
Donald
gotta
Trump
say, he's a big disappointment. I don't know. I was really pulling for him, but he's a bit of a disappointment, I gotta say, at this point. At this point, I'm starting to wonder.
Well,
2 minutes.
What the
2
fuck?
minutes isn't a good. That's not enough for us.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
That
not
means
enough
it's
for us.
meaningless to
We've
everyone.
just begun.
It's funny when you did stand-up and they'd do some fucking thing. And then
Yeah, oh
you keep
yeah,
talking.
sure. No, I had a couple of 2-hour nights in the main room of the
Sometimes they
Comedy
don't
Store.
like it, huh?
One night in the Comedy Store, I had a 2-hour night, and then I got up at the end after they had finally gotten rid of me to giant cheers, and I jumped up behind the piano and started singing, "I hate you all, you gave me cancer." And I tracked the cancer from the first growth of the first cell at the beginning of my act, and the inevitable death that I will suffer.
Do you remember
And I did suffer death.
What can we do in 2 hours, in 2 minutes
Oh,
with Jim?
we're about to find out.
We can invent a new form of travel. It's working. We could do this.
Would you do that? Wait.
Hold on.
Would you do this on the Mary Tyler Moore Show?
It's the Romnan Show. It's the Romnan Show.
Oh, cool. Oh, you broke it. Excellent. Oh, man.
I'm so sorry, man.
No. What are these made
Sorry.
of?
Oh, they're made of
not much.
Do you know what?
yeah,
do you know what
just
this is?
indestructible alloy.
You're Canadian. You know, this is an incredible thing I read. The curling, which we get
Curling.
excited about every 4 years.
Phenomenal.
That is not a renewable. Do you know what those are made of? The curling stones.
Stones?
I don't really know.
Aren't they goiter?
I've always taken them for granted. Hey, we'll be back with more in a moment.
Sorry, man.
Subscribe to Burger King.
Back with the inimitable Jim Carrey, inimitable imitator. But apparently, I don't know what happened.
I developed quite a habit with the cell phone.
Oh,
I
I
like
see.
to sandbag my arm every once in a while to keep myself.
So it's like if you
From
do too
using it.
much.
Yeah. It keeps me from using the cell.
Oh, it keeps you from using it. I see what you mean.
Otherwise, I'd be just ignoring you right now.
Yeah, but can you use your other finger to text?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I gotta pick my nose with that one.
Oh, hey, Jim, because we could,
Did you
have
know
fun.
that the zombie apocalypse has occurred? This is
No.
what people are mistaken about. There's all people talking about the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah?
You're the fucking zombies.
Oh, the cell
know
phone
that?
zombies.
This is the fucking zombie.
Are
This is
we?
the
Are
fucking
you?
zombie
Cell phone
apocalypse,
zombies,
man.
yeah.
Wait, are you?
I am too. I'm one of the
I
fucking
am.
zombies, man.
Well,
No,
if
I
everyone's
actually-
a zombie, there's no zombie
actually left.
apocalypse.
Huh?
If everybody's a zombie, it's all cool.
I guess. You just mark it into zombies. Yeah.
Now, listen, Jim.
Good evening. Welcome
Always
to the
busy.
All Zombie Network.
Check this, Jim.
Yeah.
Executive producer, this is one person. One person on this blue card
Okay.
has all these things that he's presently, or she,
Okay.
or
Well, you
she,
can't say anymore.
or she,
It's not right to say anymore.
they,
It.
it. Executive producer of Showtime's I'm Dying Up There received the Generational Award at the 2017 Just for Laughs Comedy Festival in Montreal in July. A documentary, Jim and Andy, The Great Beyond, the story of Jim Carrey and Andy Kaufman, featuring a very special, contractually obligated mention of Tony Clifton, which has been accepted by the Venice and Toronto Film Festivals. A mini documentary that we were talking about earlier, I Needed Color, on Jim and his love of painting and sculpting. And he has an upcoming art show in Las Vegas, Nevada at the end of September. Perhaps I was misinformed. But if I'm not, then you're a very popular painter, because what I heard is to be in the same room as the paintings sets you back $10,000.
Oh, I guess I don't really, I don't really organize that type of thing. But
That's good though.
That's not my doing.
No,
But,
no.
When they did it, I went, okay.
But we were talking about
Yeah, $10,000
we were
bucks.
talking
Good
about,
start. It's a good start.
We were talking about Red Skelton, who at Caesars had a big collection of his paintings,
Yeah.
which were all clowns.
I'm a fucking hack.
How much
It
to get
wasn't-
in, how much
I'm
to
a
get in
fucking
there?
hack.
How much to get into where?
Into the Red Skelton exhibit.
Nothing. He would give you a shabby old hat.
Subscribe to Nom Burger King.